Assalamu alaikum and welcome again. Now we are working on the paper of information technology. It's 9626 paper 2 for the AS level. It is practical and this is the specimen paper of 2022. Here we have to work on these two CSV files as supporting to work on our spreadsheet, the Excel work. We have bus. This is our data, bus number, location, number of seats, CO2 emissions per bus per minute. And also we have the bus trips. Here we have another data. We have it here as titles, the time, bus number, and other missed details. Now let's back to our question paper on page 4. Tawara Transport have asked Planet Saviors to help them reduce their carbon emissions from their buses traveling on number of routes. They need to identify buses that emit more CO2 than expected. For their calculations, they will assume that all seats on all buses are occupied by a passenger, so there is no empty seat. All time values must be set in the HHMMSS format. You must use the most efficient method to solve each task. All documents produced must be a professional standard and suit the business context. Open and examine the files. We have done this and save the S2 bus trips as a spreadsheet with the file name is now. We have bus trips underscore the center number and candidate number. Save as in our working area. It is Excel workbook in the new name, and we did that. Question 5. In your bus trips spreadsheet, insert appropriate formula in row 17 to calculate the total trip time for each bus. Let's check 17 here. Now for each of these bus, now we need to find out the total time. Equal sum of D4 to D16. So we have the time right here, and just we have to know it is time like this, HHMM and SS. Then we replicate for all columns. Done. Then we go to the question paper. Row 18 to look up number of seats on each bus. So in here, number of seats on each bus, we have to find out how many, and as they said that we make it as lookup, but we have to know that it's from here we have the bus number to find the number of seats. So it will be VLOOKUP as you see. Let's do this VLOOKUP. My lookup array is the bus number, and the table array will be from this table It is absolute now because it's from an external file, and the column 3, and it is exact match. Then replicate. So also this is done. Now row 19, it's talking about calculate the CO2 emissions for each passenger per minute. In row 19, let's find what is in row 19. Here, row 19. Now it's talking about the CO2 emissions per passenger per minute. And here we have the expected CO2 as per minute. This is the factor. Okay, so we need it like this. Let's do this one. It's number of passenger equal here. So V lookup equal V lookup bus number in bus table, and it is row for column 4 exact match, and then here the emission per passenger per minute, as you see, the same here, per bus per minute. We need it as per passenger, so I need here to divide by number of passengers in D18. So now this is my exact number. Why? Because here it's talking per passenger, and the original data is just per bus per minute. So I don't have per passenger here. I will transform it in this formula to be per passenger to meet the condition of the measurement. Now, back to the question paper and find out row 20 to calculate total number or total kilograms of CO2 emissions for this trip. And it is talking here, use only hour, minutes from total trip time, rounding the number of seconds to the nearest formula. Now, like this, we are talking about in row 18 here, the D19, the factor that we have extracted, times in number of passengers in D18 times how much time it was spent in this trip. It is 4 hours, 17 minutes, 19 seconds. So to convert this measurement unit into minutes, I have to multiply the hour per 60, and to do so we have to extract hour from the total time, multiply by the 60, then add the minutes from this time, and we have to add in if statement if the second of the total time is greater than or equal 30, then we have to use it as 1 full minute, or it is ignored as 0. Now all this time measurement unit should be in brackets to make it as 1 unit of work. And we have to convert this into number, as you see, in kilograms, and then we have to replicate. Done. Save your work. Back to the question. In row 20, is it done? 19. Buses are grouped by number of seats. Insert formula in row 24 to calculate number of buses in each group. Okay, so let's find row 24. This is row 24, and this is the number of seats in bus. And we need here to find out number of buses in this group of the 12. Now, I have to count from this the number of seats in the group, and when we do it as counting, so it will be count F because we have criteria equal count F. My range is the number of seats for the bus, and I have to be careful. This range should be in absolute reference, and then my criteria is D23. It is relative, and then we are talking about replication. Now save this work and back to the question paper. In row 25, look up number of buses in each group that meet the expected CO2 level. So now in the row 25, we have to find number of buses in this group, which is meeting the number of seats, and also it is meeting the expected CO2 level. It means it's less than equal the standard in B1 here. This. Now let's find out this. It is count F's, because we have more than one criteria, or we have more than one condition in count F's here. Criteria in the range 1 and criteria 1. Now let's work in criteria 1. It's less than or equal the standard here, and the range is the kilogram emissions. This one, CO2 emission, the factor, and I have to fix this, as you see. we have to make it as concatenate the operator of comparison in double quotation and B1 to make it in the correct way. Now, what is my criteria 2? Criteria 2 is talking about that the range will be number of seats as here, and I have to make it absolute, and this one also absolute, and my criteria will be the number of seats here in D23. Like this, I have how many buses are meeting the expected. They are in a good shape or in a good result. Now, how is the number? Yes, we have this less than equal B1. Fine. We have forgot to make this as absolute reference. Now, yes, now it is working right. Save your work and back to the question paper. Cell B26, calculate the percentage of buses meeting the expected CO2 level. So now we want in B26 here the percentage of buses. Okay, so we need to find out this count. We want to sum this to find the total. Now let's do that. Equal sum of divided by sum of total and in percentage. Okay. Apply appropriate formatting to your spreadsheet. This includes CO2 emissions displayed to 4 decimal places, and the kilograms are integers with no rounding for sure because it is not asked for rounding. So here the CO2 emissions just only 4 decimal places, number 4 decimal places, and here kilograms, number 0 decimal place, and they said just display, so I will not use the function integer. This is done. In row 19, for each trip, use conditional formatting to display the content of the cell as red text on yellow background if the CO2 emissions per minute are greater than the expected, and white text dark green if it is not that case. So when it is in risk, it will be red and yellow, but when we are in the safe side, it's white text on dark green. So it is conditional formatting, as you see in row 19. This is row 19. We have to format it as requested. Conditional formatting, new rule, format cells when it is less than, as you see here, when it is greater than expected. So less than equal B1, it will be in the format white font, dark green, and okay, a new rule when it is larger than, greater than the expected value, we will make it fill with yellow written in red, and set the spreadsheet so that when it is scrolled, column A and rows from 1 to 3 remain on the screen. We want to make the freeze. Go to the Excel. In view, we have the freeze pans, and we have to say that it is column 1, 2, 3, sorry, the rows 1, 2, 3, and column A. So the first cell after all of this is B4. Why? Because it is the first row after 1, 2, 3, and column B will be the first column after A. Just click on freeze pans and look, we are freezing 1, 2, 3. They are not scrolling, and also A is frozen and it is not scrolling. Now, question 7. Protect all cells from A to C, rows 17 to 20, and so that they cannot be edited when the worksheet is locked. Leave all other cells unprotected. Protect the worksheet but not the workbook using this password for Cambridge, and we want to work on this protection. First of all, select all your worksheet, go here in number, protection, all are unlocked. Then we are protecting A and C, rows 17, A and C, then 17 to 20. Okay. Now these are protected, locked, but this is not keeping them with password. We have to go to review and protect sheet, not protect workbook. Now we have to write the assigned password and verify it by re-enter. The verification is done, and save it as protect. Okay, so save as in the name protect, followed by your center number, candidate number. Then the CO2 level passenger per minute has been changed to 0.7. So let's do this change and we will save our spreadsheet in the name model. Okay. Now they are making more restrictions. They are minimizing that. So as you see, we have more warning notices here. Save it as model rather than protect. And by this, we have done our specimen 2022. Until I see you in another exam, I wish you all best luck.